Salutations, humans! Have you seen Act 1? Preferably I put this out before Act 2, but then if I put it out after Act 2, have you seen Act 2? Definitely I have to put this out before Act 3. Have you seen Act 3? Time to get jinxed! Oh no, my ID! I bought this wig off a Facebook marketplace for only $3.50, which is pretty good. Anyway, I braided it while watching Danny Gonzalez videos for some reason. To make the pipes, I laid out some duct tape like you see here and put another layer with the sticky sides touching to make kind of a duct tape sheet. Use a cutter and ruler to make the edges straighter than anyone from Arcane, so you don't have to try too hard. Then, wrap the sheets around the braids and cut them to size. You didn't ask, but the reason I'm wearing a red long sleeve is because I was going to a Chinese birthday party later. For the top of the braids, make sure the strips are narrower because that's what hers looks like. I then laid out another piece of duct tape and cut little strips to put along the top of the rectangles to give it more dimension. Next, I labeled all the pieces and make sure you label correctly on the back of the pieces so you don't end up like me. Anyway, I started painting the pipes first with a thin base of gold paint, then a layer of gold mixed with a little brown. I dry brushed it with some silver and brown so it's not as brassy. I don't know what brassy means, I'll be honest. Then lastly, I got some black eyeshadow and brushed it all over the pieces to kind of weather it and give it a worn out look. I was gonna tell you that this was expired eyeshadow, which is good for this purpose, but I end up using it in my makeup look later and I'm kinda embarrassed about using expired eyeshadow now if I tell you that. While waiting for it to dry, let's go back to the wig. This next party I got inspired from Nora Fawn's wig where she put wire in the braid, so I got some wire from Daiso and shoved it up the braid. And if you think it's all chill, it's not! This is in 10 times speed, so it took 10 times as long as you see here. At the end, cut the wire and fold it so no pointy edges. For the second braid, I decided to try putting in the wire from the top and oh my gosh, it was so much easier and look how much chiller it goes. Now put your wig on your wig stand, except I don't have a wig stand and I use my electric fan as a wig stand. Then I just started hot gluing the pipe pieces around the wig. Gee, that was hard. I sure hope she doesn't cut all her hair off in season 2. Sorry, she what? So I got a halter top and put it on and sketched 4 circles where I want the holes to be. Then I got this gold placemat because it's all I could find and cut out circles the size I wanted the rivets to be. I'm using a compass style cutter here, but you can just use scissors too. Then, cut out the centers to look like a donut from 1927. Once those are cut out, glue them onto the top with like super glue or something. I cut holes to the size of the inner holes to make her cutout. Next, I got some scrap beige fabric and hemmed the edges with hot glue, but that's optional, I think. I don't know, I made this top a year ago. Then just kinda do whatever I'm doing here to make the X part of her top. Is KSI's song really called The Thick of It, like the Backyardigans song? Glue it down in the back and woohoo, but not in the Sims way. You just finished the first part. Next, I threw some faux leather on the floor and traced and cut out some strips. I glued them together to make an extra long strip, then glued it to the back and sides of the top but not the front. This is to keep a little bit of the stretch so I could still put the top on and off. Would it have been better to sew it? Yes, but I was very impatient. Cut the ends to sides, then glue the ends of the stage left side into a point. I say stage left because it's like if you put on the top, you know, whatever. I taped off and painted a little gold arrow and ooh, satisfying. I messed up though, so I used a needle to fix that. I sewed on a hook and eye and a little extra stitching to make it more interesting and the top is done. Then the next day I decided to go get a Lego passport. Okay, back to Jinx. For the pants, I got these old burgundy pants that I don't wear anymore. Don't ask me what I was doing there. I marked where I wanted the pants to end and cut the pants to the length I wanted. Then I just traced some lines and painted some stripes. I got some of that extra fabric that I cut off from the bottom of the pants and painted some stripes onto. Then I hemmed the edges and folds with hot glue, so I glue it into a tube and cut off the excess. Flip it right side out and you've got a sleeve. Moving on to the belt, I got some more faux leather and cut thick strips and glued 2 of them together to wrap around my hips. I glued the edges of that piece and the gap in the middle is fine since it will be against our body. No one will know except like 1,000 people. For the hanging bits, I glued it without a gap in the middle since everyone will see them. Like 1,001 people. Next, I cut some duct tape to shape like you see here and taped up the edge like that. I also added some duct tape to the sides because that's what her belt has. I then made a little thick triangle of duct tape by folding itself over and over again. I then sketched and cut out a piata shape, then used the cutter to cut out a little smaller piata shape in the middle. Fold some more duct tape and cut little strips to make an X shape in the middle of the belt like you see here. Glue it in place. Lastly, do the duct tape thing again and cut out 4 little arrows. Paint all the duct tape stuff we just did. I'll do some impressions while you watch this segment to entertain you. Hot dog! We're done. Gather your parts. I was gonna use contact cement to glue it on, but it was dry, so I used super glue instead. Put the parts on and pin or clip them in place like you see me doing here. No, I don't know why I keep walking around my room. Phone, can you stop vibrating? I'm like trying to record here. When you've got everything down, I first duct tape it before reinforcing it with more hot glue. Glue on the final embellishments. Hot dog! Add some snap buttons and the belt is done! You can add spikes if you want to make it more accurate, but I couldn't find any I really liked yet, so it's done for now. Let's make a mini fish bones. I found this shark-shaped toy gun in Mr. DIY. First, I painted it with a base of silver. Then, I proceeded to lose the rest of the footage of making this. So basically, after I painted it fully silver, I used some markers to color the colored parts and it came out with this kind of metallic colored finish that you see here. Do some weathering techniques with some black paint and black eyeshadow and whoa-wee, that's a little mini baby fish bones. Time to get ready as Jinx. First, I painted my nails with some clear nail polish and colored eyeshadow because I didn't have colored nail polish and this will do. Now, here's an epic costume montage. Boom, 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 boom. I wake up to the sound of the silence that allows from my mind up to the ground. I put on a regular schmegular plain black arm warmer and then I put the striped arm warmer on top. Then for her little straps, I used these cheap dog collars I found. Then I just got some garter I tied into a loop to hold the gun in place on the belt. Then find a random shoelace you've been hoarding for a couple years and use that as her choker. Here's my Jinx makeup tutorial. Slap on some foundation, then slap on some eyeshadow, then slap on some more eyeshadow but like in a darker color, and then slap on a lot of eyeshadow all around your face. Doorbell. Honestly, just use eyeshadow for everything. For shading, eyes, contour, lip lining, enhancing your already eye-baggy eye bags cause you never sleep. Put on the wig, and for the shoes, I ordered some shoelaces from a local seller but they still took a week to arrive. When will my shoelaces come? They arrived! Okay, now that they arrived, I just removed the old laces of my shoes and laced them with the new ones. Okay, for the tattoos, I got this face paint crayon and I drew the design on. If you're having difficulty, call a friend. If you have no friends, do the best. Next, to fill in the tattoos, I didn't have body paint so we're making some. I scraped some eyeshadow for the pigment and put it in a container. I mixed it with some foundation that I never used to make basically colored foundation. If it's too clumpy, add lotion and just mix. And mix! And honestly, color theory is crazy because when you look at it, it's gray, but when I put it on my body, it's blue! Paint the town blue, rebels all around you! Okay, sorry about that. Anyway, the cosplay's done. I made a joke about this on TikTok, by the way, follow my TikTok. Being blessed with baby face means you're cursed to look like powder more than Jinx. Hey, have you ever wanted to know what making a microwave edit looks like? Well, now you know. Hey, let's go to Jinx's safe house event. This loser watching a 10-minute recap. What a loser.
It was blue. Arcane, League of Legends.
God. You go first.
Not my sister. That's you when you walk beside me.
My sister is crazy.
I'm gonna give an honest review. The set was so cool, like the desk, the props, everything, but the event was, that's my friend, Phoebe. There were some games and photo-taking areas, like here you could write what you wanted on the Arcane wall, and here you could hold a life-size Jace hammer. Game?
Yeah.
Anyway, that was hard. I sure hope she doesn't change her outfit in Act 3. Oh, come on! So first up, measure your head. I couldn't find my measuring tape, so I'm just using a piece of fabric I found on the floor to measure how much fabric to cut for the hood. First, I cut a piece around 2 random boxes wide, but turns out I needed 3 random boxes wide worth of fabric and the height of the head measurement. So I glue it into a tube and cut the edges to be aligned. Try on the hood and pose randomly for about a minute. Get some white fabric. Oh look, I finally found my measuring tape. Cut out a bunch of shark teeth-shaped diamonds. By a bunch, I mean 10. I counted. I'm just like Count Dracula. I hemmed the edges with hot glue, and I chose hot glue because I wanted the edges to have a little stiffness. You could also use felt or foam if you want your teeth to be even stiffer. What a weird sentence. Would you want your real teeth to be even stiffer? Once you're done, arrange the teeth from biggest in the middle to smallest on the edge. Then, hot glue it on the hood in that order. Try on the hood to see if you like the formation of the teeth, and if you don't, well, I don't really know how to help you with that. Next, you can either stitch on the details, or if you're lazy like me, just use some fabric markers. Draw or sew stitches all around the edge of the teeth with purple thread or marker, then pink excess on the top 3 points of the diamonds. Okay, moving on to her top. Okay, so I kinda lost the footage of the first part, but basically I took this stretchy bandage colored fabric and cut it into strips and glued them together to make a super long strip. I then wrapped it around me, securing the fabric to itself with hot glue until it formed the top. Not sure why I took it off in this shot, because I had to put it back on again to do the painting. Here. We're working on our Jinx cosplays. Okay. She's doing her Jinx wig. I'm doing the Jinx top. And we're gonna watch... What are we gonna watch? Act 1. Ooh, your pants. Time to commit a piece of band. Okay, I committed. And commit I indeed did do. Basically, just paint a giant pink X on your top. Hashtag wig styling. Put on the top and the hood and cut up your wig if you're braver than me, and now you're season 2 Jinx. The outfit felt a bit empty to me, so I tied this leather belt around my arms and my waist, and yeah, it works. forgot to film an outro, so bye humans. Wait, I haven't cut an echo apron.